In today's video, we're going to tackle a problem many of you and myself have dealt with, and that is you've got a reliable daily that you kind of want to mod, but you don't want to sacrifice reliability. So your problem is you want to add some showmanship, but you don't want to lose that go-manship. Well, today, our friends from UroTuning are going to help us solve that issue. Stay tuned. Just like many of you at home, the guys here at P3 are real gearheads. And so that means we have our fun cars, we really like those, but you also, everybody, you just love that daily. And like me, I have problems wanting to mod my daily. So let's go over the different daily types. Here in the Midwest, a lot of farming communities, a lot of towns, you got your pickups. Classic first choice, very practical. If you want friends, get yourself a pickup, a trailer, or a lift, and I guarantee you the friends will come. Next choice, super popular option. We got our hot hatch option. We've got our cheap R, we love that car. Lots of hot hatches around. Next option, probably another hand-me-down car. Big old sedans, and I just think of old like 70s, maybe even into the 80s. Gigantic four doors, horrible fuel mileage, but tons of fun. Another option, your coupe. Tons of two doors, lots of popular sporty options there. Another classic is a van, and this was actually Matt's first car here. His parents handed down their Chevy Express down to him. We had tons of fun in that thing. And finally, there are heroes among us that daily drive race cars. Tyson Carter. This car's gonna be the least practical out of the bunch, but you might have the most fun depending on what you're looking for. Probably gonna have more breakdowns and issues as well. And just like these Hot Wheels are gonna perform differently, those cars perform differently in real life. But the good thing is, when you're looking for a practical daily, you don't necessarily care about performance. And out of that group of cars, I purposely left out one body type that is unfortunately becoming less and less available here in the US, but it might be my favorite and the most practical, and it's for sure Matt's favorite. So let's go down and see what he has down in the showroom. This is my cousin Matt. He's been working at P3 for about 5 years now. He does our shipping and logistics. He does a lot of new product development. Also does a lot of media stuff and just basically everything in general here. Being a small business, we all kind of wear all the hats. And he recently acquired this awesome wagon, and I'd like him to tell you about it.
Yeah, so this is my BMW 328D. It's a 2014 F31. It's obviously a wagon. I've always really loved wagons. My mom had 2 or 3 growing up, a Woody, yes, which is lots of fun. There's lots of nostalgia in that. But also from a practicality standpoint, you get a lot of space with the wagon. My wife, my daughter, and my dog and I like to go a lot of places together. Throw them all in here, throw the roof box on the top, pack it full, tow the camper, and you know, it's a good time waiting to happen.
Do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great for practicality. It's also diesel, so it's really efficient. I get low 40 miles to the gallon, just daily driving it, and then towing the camper with the roof box on the top, I get low 30s, nice, which is great. So that's another big reason that I really wanted to pick it up.
Awesome. And what have you done to it since you found it?
Yeah, so first things first, obviously it has a P3 gauge in it. I brought it with me when I bought the car, and I road tripped it about 600 miles home, put the gauge in it. It lets me keep an eye on the car, and obviously being a BMW, you know, codes happen. Yes. So I'm able to read and clear those, make sure everything's healthy, and that's great. I also got the windows tinted from our friends at Exclusive Customs, Mo and Kobe. They did a great job, and it's made a huge difference on the temperature of the car on those hot summer days, which is great. Then I also have a Kerma Stage 1 tune for this car. It's great. It adds a little bit of power, a decent amount of torque, and they also claim about a 10% efficiency gain. Really, really happy with the tune. Super easy to install.
Nice.
And then the latest thing I've done is just put some cheap springs on it. I got some cheap springs off of a guy, and they're great. I like the way the car looks a lot. It looks way better than stock ride height, but it's a little bit rougher than I'd like it to be. Cheap springs are just rough. That's kind of how it goes. Because it's so low, especially in the back with the rear overhang, it tends to drag on things. The hitch kind of saves my bumper, but it's not optimal dragging the receiver all the time.
So basically, you want the car to look awesome sitting low, but you need a practical ride height.
Yeah.
And you can't do both of those at the same time with springs.
Absolutely. So basically our solution was air.
This is where our friends at UroTuning come in. And they are a company that we've worked with for a long time. They've been a dealer of ours for quite a while now. at Wookiees in the Woods, we reconnected with those guys, spent the whole weekend with them, hanging out, having a good time. Our friend Colin has a Mark 6 Golf R, which is probably the perfect example of a Golf R. The thing's beautiful. And as soon as he saw ours, he was saying, dude, how can I make my car as cool as yours? As soon as we told him you needed to roll it down a cliff, he didn't really seem interested in that anymore, so we continued on. Jacob is also there. He does a lot of their photography and media stuff. We went and did some photo shoots with him. His edits are awesome. You can check those guys out on Instagram. But they have worked with us on this car to supply a kit from Airlift Performance, and that's a full kit as well as a set of wheels. You have some more details on that?
Yeah, so we got a full 3P kit from Airlift Performance, as well as some accessories like a compressor and a tank from UroTuning. And then we got a set of 19-inch V801s from VMR. And those are the same wheels I ran on my 135 that I had. Instead of going with the black with the tinted clear coat on the machine face, I went with a hyper silver to complement the rest of the silver on this car.
That'll look really good. And then neither of us have done an airlift or an air ride kit ever on a car. Maybe a couple of airbags on a semi, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a learning curve for us. Also, the clock is ticking. UroTuning, we've been working on this for a couple months with them now, but due to the massive supply chain issues, as well as us being as busy as ever, we just haven't been able to get to the kit until now, and we have 1 month and 1 day to get this done, film it and everything, which should be plenty of time, but when you're also running a business, things do get crazy. So our goal is to get a full airlift system on this, as well as the wheels, and then we've got a livery we've been working with UroTuning on that we're going to throw this on as our support vehicle, and then we're headed down to FixxFest on November 20th, which is a big event that UroTuning has put on for a few years now, and we are a sponsor of that event this year for the first year, and we're going to road trip this and our cheap R down to Florida, North Florida, for that event. So we'd like to give a huge thank you to UroTuning for working with us on this. We're excited to partner with them in this build, and be sure to watch the upcoming videos on this build as we cram this thing together in the next month and get it all filmed. And like, subscribe, and share these videos so other people can see them, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.